What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shakami Pain Reviews E3 2019. This time, we're on to Square Enix. So overall, Square Enix's press conference was pretty good, a lot better than last year. I honestly, it might be my bias towards like JRPGs and all that, but I think that their press conference was good. I wish that some of the press conference had more stuff to show, like beats like this, but again, they still didn't have an amazing showing. The middle did kind of fall apart, and it did feel like last year's, where it was just advertisement for things we already knew. Overall, I think that the things that were big were huge, and that's what puts it over the edge for me. So we open up right off the bat with Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and earlier on, I think for the orchestra, I believe, they were revealed that the release date is March 3rd, 2020. It's a pretty solid release date. All considering, I think that's kind of what I thought. I think in the predictions I said it was going to be January, which seemed like a slam dunk date for that, but March will do. They showed off some gameplay, some real-time combat mixed with some tactical combat. They showed the kind of a meat and potatoes version of stuff we've kind of seen before. Still in Midgar, still that kind of opening sequence that we keep seeing, but we did get an extensive look at it this time, and we also got look at some character swapping. It's between Barrett and Cloud, and I'm assuming later on you're gonna get all the rest of the Final Fantasy VII gang, maybe even Zack. And then we get a reveal of Tifa. It kind of matches her artwork from Final Fantasy VII. They showed off the Scorpion boss battle, really solid gameplay. I'm very excited for this game, and then of course they hit us with the release date that we already knew because of the orchestra. Then we got a few things that were ads, basically, and this is kind of where the conference is like, oh, okay, we're gonna dip down for a little bit before we pick back up. And it was a Life is Strange 2 showing, being like, yeah, buy this game. And then Crystal Chronicles came on and was like, yeah, buy this game. It's coming out it's coming out in August. I'm just going to say it's coming out in August because I don't know the exact release date. Then we go over to Octopath for PC as well. And then we got the news that Last Remnant Remastered comes out on Switch tonight. That was a pretty cool surprise. I didn't really jump into it. Maybe I'll try it, check it out now. And we got a Dragon Quest Builders trailer. There's a demo out the 27th, so that's also cool. Jump over to Dragon Quest Switch, Dragon Quest 11 Switch, that is, for a fall release. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna wait to finish Dragon Quest until it comes out for Switch, because I've never heard an OST that was so jarring. Like, just the MIDI files, I was like, oh, okay, this is okay at first, and then once I'm in the overworld, it was not for me. We got a new game called Circuit Superstars. I don't know too much about that. It looks like a top-down racing game. Kind of cool. Battalion 1944 on Steam. I think this was also an ad. I'm not too familiar with this franchise. Another ad that the Final Fantasy soundtracks are now on Spotify and Apple Music and all these platforms. Again, something we already knew. We got the official trailer for the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, and that is another one that was kind of revealed at the orchestra event, but we didn't actually see a trailer until the press conference, so I'll let it slide. Plus, Kingdom Hearts, got a special place in my heart. Got another trailer for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, the next expansion, out July 2nd. They got some more information for it. That's another one of those games where I so badly want to get into, but I just don't. Every time I jump into it, it's not for me, man. Got a Dying Light 2 trailer. It's just similar to what we got with Xbox this conference. We got Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions. I'm sure people are excited for that. Some niche group is very excited for that. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Jared Petty, who used to work at IGN, I'm sure he was very excited about that. There's one for you, Jared. We got the next game from People Can Fly. Again, this was pretty long rumored. It's called Outriders. No real gameplay from it. I'm assuming we'll get it at the show floor, but kind of a Mad Maxy post-apocalyptic sort of world. And we'll see more from it. I do like the people can fly guys. I really liked Bulletstorm. I was apprehensive on Gears of War Judgment. Not really my thing, but I do really love Baird. We got the next game from Tokyo RPG Factory, Oninaki. This was announced in a direct earlier this year. They did have a release date. I don't know if this is new or not, but it is set for August 22nd. Looks really cool. Action RPG this time. I will definitely check it out. I do really like the Tokyo RPG games. I Am Setsuna's got one of the best OSTs in all of gaming. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, we got Final Fantasy VIII Remastered finally. And I know for a lot of people that was just like, oh, it's okay, we're getting a Final Fantasy Remaster. But I tell you, there's such a fan base for this game, and it's one of the Final Fantasy games I've never got to play, and I know my friend, it's his favorite Final Fantasy game. I know some people who it's like, oh, this is the worst Final Fantasy game of the golden era, but now that it's here, I think I am glad to check it out. It says a release of 2019. I think what the problem was a soundtrack, a licensing soundtrack problem, and they had to like rework the whole game. That looks really cool. It's something I can really sink my teeth in before Final Fantasy VII Remake. Man, I honestly never thought that was gonna happen, so I'm excited. And last, but certainly not least, we finally got Marvel's Avengers, and woo, this look good. It's kind of the thing that Marvel's doing so well now. What I wish Disney was doing with Star Wars is just the fact of bringing all these games to passionate developers who are passionate about the properties and not sticking it to one publisher. And like last year we got Insomniac making Spider-Man PS4, which was amazing. My second favorite game of the year last year. I'm stoked for this game, and the fact that they're actually doing a story just like a Spider-Man PS4 and not so much focusing on the shared universe part of it, which was heavily rumored to be what it is. It's just awesome. It was really cool to see what the story will be centering around this time, with a catastrophic event being in the center of it. It looks like Captain America is no longer with us. Maybe some time travel is going to be involved. Obviously they showed Captain America, so I'm assuming you still get to play as him. So I don't know how that'll work if he's just KIA. And the voice actors are basically the Avengers of voice actors. We got Troy Baker, we got Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey, Nolan North. The guy who's playing Captain America I wasn't as familiar with. He's going to be a good fit, I think. We got a sort of like almost dev diary, but for the voice actors, talking about the characters that they're playing. Troy Baker's playing Bruce Banner. One guy is playing Captain America. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. Travis Willingham is playing Thor. Makes sense, obviously. Laura Bailey is playing Black Widow, and Nolan North is playing Tony Stark himself. All the roles make sense for all the people playing them. And then they showed a shared universe tie-in, the kind of what we more thought this game was going to be. It's a multiplayer type game, kind of like Destiny. It seems like there will be more heroes added down the line, more events added. Cool component to see. I hope it's just not tacked on. There are a couple studios working on this, so it doesn't seem like it's going to just be a tacked on thing. Whereas I believe it's Crystal Dynamics is working on the main game. Eidos is working on the shared universe part of it. And then they teased Hank Pym to be the first hero. Other than that, to be released. I still am kind of unsure if this is going to be a create a hero, or if you're going to get one of the heroes and make them look the way you want them to. So like get an Iron Man in a purple suit. But it's cool nonetheless. The idea really strikes an interest in me, and I'm excited to see when it releases. Speaking of a release date, we did get the announcement that it's coming out May 15th, 2020. That's about what I thought it was going to be. There's a distinct possibility that this might get delayed, but I do hope we actually hit that target. I'm sure that Shared Universe is coming maybe a bit later. Surprisingly, overall, with the Avengers thing, they didn't use the likenesses at all of, you know, the MCU characters, and I think that's kind of the trend they're going with, because obviously Peter Parker from Spider-Man PS4 was not the Tom Holland, and I'm glad. So that was Square Enix E3 2019. Overall, I think that it was two great parts in between some lesser great parts. I mean, again, did get the announcement of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. That's been a joke for a long time. We did get some more JRPG announcements, which I personally am a fan of. I think a lot of this centers around my bias for JRPGs. Otherwise, I don't think it would be as great of a conference as I'm thinking it is right now. And I think the reason I do think it is probably the best conference overall currently is that just, even though they had downtime, the things that they had to show were huge with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Avengers. I think the only thing that they could have done more with like Avengers is like gameplay. I'm hoping we'll get some more at the show floor when we finally get there. But other than that, it was solid. It does still feel like a 7.5, even if I'm in my unbiased opinion. But I do think that if you're a JRPG fan, this is pretty, you know, cool announcements, I think. What do you guys think? Comment below, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and I love you.